The Shine Trader, it is Tuesday morning. So we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and then we'll take a look here at the old NQ, which is pretty flat as of right now. Okay, this video is for information only, not a recommendation by selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Here we have Bitcoin daily, weekly chart. Now let's just take a little peek, see what's going on here. Okay, now you can see here we had that double top situation, been selling off ever since. This was Friday, had a really big rip up, just like the rest of the rally. And yesterday she just fell right off the map. Now today we made this lower, a low situation kind of, okay? So, but again, we got to see where this all stands. So bottom line, today we made a low of 108.845, okay? So what we're watching is the bottom of this candle, 108.625. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. See, that's your next level. Yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah, right here. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, 108.625. Now, if it keeps right on rolling down, we're going to look right to the bottom of this candle here at 107.840 level, and then we're going to come to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 107.680. Level. Then we can come all the way down here. You're looking at 107.195 level. But realistically, what you're looking for is this 100-day at 106.05. Now, we also have to respect the 21-day here, okay, 107.47 level. That's going to be very, very key, okay? So that's what we really want to be watching a lot of times is that 107, that 21-day simple moving average on your weekly chart. But again, we just follow these candles down, but these are going to be your two really big targets, that 107.47 and that 106.05 level if it keeps right on selling down. Now, you can see here how this 8-day crossed the 21-day, not good. Now it's going to be crossing 50-day, not good. That's going to be strong resistance if this rallies up. Okay, so if this does rally up to this area level right there at that 50-day, that's going to be very, very strong resistance. Okay, so let's look on the upside. So we're watching at 110.770 level. Okay, so then we're looking at just to do the opposite of what we've been doing. Then you want to look at 111.220 level. Okay, then what we do is then we just follow these candles right on that. Okay, 112 level. You got that 111.805, 112.75. We come up to the bottom there, 112.485. We'll come to the bottom there, 112.820, and then we'll be looking here for the 50-day at 114.19, and then that 8-day at 114.56. Okay, we get above that. Well, we got you can come to the top of that candle, 115.30, but realistically, you'll be looking for that 21-day at 116.311. Now you can see how the 21-day is kind of rolling over here. It's this 8-day that's going to be very, very critical. So you have to, as that rolls over and that price is below it, you got to get back above it, but it needs a catalyst to get above that situation. Okay, so bottom line, what you'll be watching today is just watch today's low, that 108.845 level. That's going to be very, very crucial there on a closing basis. If not, we just follow these candles on 108.625 and follow it all the way down until we hit this, either this 21-day, and we're going to see what the reaction is going to be, or that 100-day. Now, again, if it keeps right on rolling, you can come all the way down here to this 99 level here to that 200-day very, very easy. Okay, so you got to be very, very careful with this. Now, we had that negative divergence going on here, and you can see here, it just really kept right on rolling. Now, 41, that's not oversold. Okay, the green is below your red, but this is not oversold. So this has a plenty of ways to go to the downside here. But again, this is still, for me, it's really like yesterday, it was really good scalpers. Okay, so this was a good scalping into that 50-day, then she came right on down. Okay, so you can still, this is a very, very tradable market. Okay, so that's how we're looking at it. Now, when you look at this weekly chart, you can see here, bottom left, upper right, really, really nice, good uptrend. This price can come all the way down to the 50-day, and you still have an uptrending chart. Okay, so don't get too excited about it. Just trade this market. Now, we got to an overbought condition. Now she's rolling over, and as the green is crossed over, that's never good. Okay, see what happens when the green crosses over? Boom. See, the green crosses over. What do you have? Boom. Okay, so again, we watch these key levels on the downside. 107.044, that's your 21-day, and this basically is this 106. Upside here, bottom line, you'll be watching that 50-day, that 8-day, and then if you can get above it, you have your 21 SMA. All right, let's take a look here now on gold and silver. Here we have gold and silver. Now, you can see here, it's really like a whole lot of nothing going on here. But, Okay, we're holding this 21 day. Okay, so this is going to be a very key support. Watch that 34.01. Okay, that's going to be key. We want to watch that 8-day at 33.92, and then we want to watch that 50-day at that 33.75. Those are all your key support levels. All right. Now, again, if we lose it, we'll come to the bottom there. You're looking at 33.67. We look to the bottom 33.62 level, and then we have 33.53. Then we're looking for the 100-day at 33.34, and then we have your 34.19 level, which is basically right there. And then we come down to your 3,300 flat if it keeps right on going. But right now, this is looking very, very sideways kind of an action. Now, what we had here, we had this bust out here of 34.34. But right now, gold is sitting at 34.20. Okay, so you have to get above this key level. See this 34.23, 34.23. See that? Yeah. Did we pop above it? Yes. But you got to close above this. Okay, a lot of day left. Okay, don't get me wrong. So this is what you're looking for: 34.23. Then we can go to today's high so far, 34 level. Then we're going to look to the bottom of that candle at that 34.45, and then we have 34.51 level, and we're going to come to the top of that candle at 34.66. Work yourself all the way on up here until we get to that 35.34 level. But right now we just have a sideways action. But 54, you got plenty of room to go on the upside. The green is about to cross over that red, which gives it nice, good momentum. Now, the key to the upside is basically being a close above the top of this candle at 35.09. We do that, then you can strike out at that 35.34, and then you can go 35.50, 3600, even 36.20, not a problem. But right now we have a nice, good uptrending chart. So we have low, higher low situation, and we're holding that nice key 100-day, which is following right on up here. Okay, so this is looking very, very good. I'll be watching this level here today at that 34.23. I'll close above it, then I'll jump in that GLD, and we'll probably take it to the tops, to the top, to the top, and maybe even to the top of that. Okay, now silver. Well, silver not as good as gold. Okay, but we have a pole here. Okay, and we have a couple of red candles, which basically this could be like a bull flag situation. Okay, so this is just watch it. Now, what we want to watch on the downside, obviously, is today's low, 38.33, and then we want to watch this 8-day. See that 8-day, 38.16. We have that 21-day, 37.96, and then we have your 50-day, 37.67. So we got a lot of nice, good support underneath. Now, the upside, well, obviously, we want to look at today's high, 38.86, yesterday's high, 38.96, and then 38.09, the recent high. Okay, then we get above that. We got regular right here, 39.33, and then we have 39.52, 39.66, and then your retest 39.91. You crack that, it's going to be 40, 42, 45. But right now, just see if this flag pole pays off here. Okay, so you got the pole, and then we got the flag going. Let's just see if that can just rally right on up here and crack that 39.09, which is the top of that candle. Okay, and then we can rally up to that 39.91. Now RSI, wow, you're sitting at 55. That could go either way. You're sitting at the bottom here. The green is over your red. This is still a very, very nice looking chart on the old silver. You can see how the gradual is on the gold. Same way here, so we have a nice, good gradual line up. I think it's going to be a matter of time before you crack that 39.91 and that 35.34 level. All right, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Here we have crude oil. Now, we had a really, really nice, good run yesterday. We ran right up in there. At the end of the day, I took that UCO off the table. And now we're sitting right here because what it is, it went to the 21-day, and then when those futures opened at 6 p.m., it just could not get over that top, and that 21-day was holding it on. I says, well, there's no sense hanging on to the UCO. I can always buy it back. Okay, that's the thing, is especially in this kind of a market. Now, we do have hurricane season going into the really the first week of October, okay? First week of October, we have that hurricane season from now till then. So anything can happen, okay? But again, this is why you want to trade the chart. Now, yesterday we had a nice day. It held at 8-day, rallied right up, went above the 21-day, but you notice that it couldn't close above. That's the key. And then I was holding the UCO long, and then I say when it came to those futures, I always watch those futures at 6 p.m. when the market reopens, and it just didn't have no juice, okay? So it just couldn't do it, and now she's coming right down. So we have a sideways action. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking for more, obviously, for trades. Now, I can always buy this on strength. If we can get back above that 64.71, okay, then I can jump back into that UCO, and it will take it to that 50-day, which is basically right there, your next resistance, 66.26. It get back above that, then we can go to the 200-day at 67.45, and then we have right below that candle, 68.56, top of that candle, 69.58, and then you retest at 7.51. Okay, but we got to see how this all shakes out. Now, the downside, what I'm really watching is this 8-day. Now, this 8-day was curling up nice, and now it kind of flattened out. So this is what I'm watching on the downside for key support level. Now, if it does hold that, that could also be a trade where you can jump in and then take it right back, maybe to the 100-day, 200-day. But right now, we just have a red candle. So this is what I'm watching, is that 63.28 level, right? Now, we lose that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down 62.52. We'll come down here at 61.83. And then we're going to look for this retest at 61.45 level. Okay, so that would be a nice, good short. If we lose that 8-day, then I'll take a short and we'll come right on down. We'll retest this 61.45. Okay, so look, we just got to keep this in action, but we had a nice, good 4-day run. Okay, and you know that's a pretty good run. Okay, that's a pretty good run, but you notice that 21-day pretty much stopped it cold. Now we're sitting at 45. That's not overbought or oversold. We're sitting at the bottom. Here on your MACD, your green has crossed your red. So let's just see how this, because it's red right now, that doesn't mean it's going to stay red. So again, if we hold that 8-day, that could be a good buying opportunity to take it back up to the 100-day or maybe in that 21-day. If you can buy in strength, if you close back above this 64.71, gets back above that, then that could be a good trade to that 50 SMA. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, here we have natural gas. Now, before we get started, natural gas, crude oil, the API report will be out today at 4:30, and we'll have to see how that's going to shake out. Then the ERA report will be out on Wednesday at 10:30. Now, remember, always look risk to reward kind of a situation, okay, just like on the crude oil. Now, as I say, so for me, like I say, it couldn't get through that 21-day, so I'm looking at, hey, what is my reward if these futures open and it can't get above? It's just going to go down, okay? I already have a profit. Why not take that profit? Okay, because I can always buy this back. Because the beauty of like UCO or SEO or a lot of these ETFs or stocks, you can trade these 24 hours a day. You can get up at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. My computers are always going, during the week. All I got to do is touch it, punch in the code, and boom, I got everything rolling here again. Okay, so it doesn't take much, to go. So always look at the risk to reward kind of a situation. Okay, now here we look at natural gas. Okay, now what we're looking at here is yesterday we made this low all the way down to 2.62. And then so today we have this sideways action, a little bit higher high. So on the upside, we're looking for this 8-day. See how strong that 8-day is? Very, very critical. We get above that, and you got your 21-day right there. Okay, so that's pretty much enough said. So as this was rallying, okay, see how that was rallying? Boom, that's it, and then down. Up here, down. Up here, and then down. These were almost like bear flag situations, okay? Coming up here and just could not hold it. So let's see where we can do it again. So this 8-day is going to be absolutely critical on the upside, 2.78. If we can, then you have your 2.91. Obviously, we get above that. We just follow the candles. You got 2.96 level here. We come up there at 2.98. We have 310 level. You got 315 level. And then we have a retest there of 319. And then you have your 50-day. We have your 100-day. And then we have your 200-day. Right now, this is a total downtrend. But again, that's today. Eventually, natural gas will run its course and it will run higher, okay, coming into seasonality. Now, on the downside, we want to watch that 2.62 level. Okay, that's what we're going to be watching. Now, your next level we're going to come on to is going to be right there. It's going to be that roughly 2.58, okay? Then we'll come on top of that. You're looking at 2.51 level. We'll come to the top of there at 2.44, and then we have 2.37, and then we come down to the bottom, 2.26, and we can come all the way down there at 2.21, okay? Very easy. Now, we look at the RSI. This is not oversold. We're hanging on the bottom, but still not oversold. Same with your MACD. This could go lower. The whole key to this whole chart, as you can see, this downtrending situation, is this 8-day. Okay, that's everything. We have to close above it, then we can attack that 21-day. So for me, I'm going to be waiting very, very patiently on the trade for a long side if we can hit that 8-day and possibly that 21-day. Now, I trade the UNG for the long, KLD for the short. Work out very, very nice. I don't hold this overnight. I just use it just for actually trading, unless we can start getting some kind of an upside situation, we get above that 8 and get above that 21 day, then I know we're going to break that. Then you break this downtrend, and then we got a good shot at taking that bad boy higher. All right, let's take a look here now at the NQ. All right, here we have the NQ. Now, yesterday was it was, I don't know, probably about 5 to 8 last night. I was watching the market and got all the computers and everything. I was watching all the charts, I should say. And all of a sudden, it comes over global news that T-Man is, if people don't cooperate, companies don't cooperate, they're going to put on more tariffs, and the market just, boom, came right on off side of a situation. So you got to be very, very delivery, especially even in this time period, exactly what all the news is about. Okay, so always watch that news, even if it's later there at night. All right. So now you can see here we're holding that 50-day very nice, but look at this 8-day, how strong that is going to be. Okay, so what we're watching is we're going to be watching on the upside is we're going to watch this 21 SMA, 23,524, and that 8-day at that 23,591. This is what we're watching. Now, again, when you look at this, it's almost like a bull flag situation. We got to see, but you have to get and close back above that 23,650. Then we can start hitting all these targets up here and maybe even retest that 24,68. All right, but let's just see how that all shakes out. Downside, you're watching today's low, 23,371, but realistically, this is the key level you're looking at is 23,129 and 22,775, your recent low. Okay, we lose that, you're going to hit that nice good aim for that 100-day and possibly for that 200 SMA. So let's just see how this takes out. We still have this negative divergence going on. The green is below your red, so just be a little bit patient. Now, again, the NASDAQ and I think the market is all going to be hinged realistically on NVIDIA's numbers. So they come out tomorrow after the close on the 27th. So we got to see how that's all going to shake out. Okay, but don't have no opinion. Remember, just, risk to reward. Okay, use stop losses and put money in your pocket. All right. That's what I got for you. I'll be back here midday trading. We'll take a look at some stocks. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.